Hi there. For my descriptive presentation, I chose to speak on the topic of education. The education system is a topic that, regardless of political affiliation, people have an opinion on. I posed a question in the comments to see if people believe that the education system should be reformed for upcoming generations. I posted to YouTube, Quora, and Reddit, and naturally, I didn't share the same exact post to each platform because all three require different verb choice or wording. In addition to these differences, each platform is visited very frequently and will have a lot of information towards the topic of education, which is why I chose them in the first place. First, we can start with my YouTube comment. I posted this YouTube comment to a YouTube video that elaborated on 6 problems the education system was facing. This video had been viewed by over 6 million people and was posted a little over 2 years ago. My comment was, the education definitely needs to be changed, especially for millennials, kids, and the upcoming generations. Like mentioned in the video, the world is changing. We need to change our system. I had to choose my wording correctly for this video and this comment since YouTube attracts so many people of any age, educational background, and intelligence level. I also chose to add exclamation points to this comment, which I didn't do to any of my other comments. YouTube was the most lackadaisical platform that I chose to use, and using exclamation points provides a more upbeat and carefree feeling to this comment since I didn't need to be very intense. As you saw in the screenshot of my comment, there were no likes, dislikes, or replies to my comment, and I feel that this was more of a user error. I posted this comment a little over a week ago on a video that had been uploaded a little over 2 years ago, so it was not as active as the video. I believe that the lack of response was, again, like I said, mostly my fault. This YouTube comment was my first post out of any of the forums, so it is understandable why I wasn't very equipped and knowledgeable of how and what my comments were supposed to contain. I think this is where most issues come in with digital communication. My next post was to Quora. Quora is a question and answer based website where people can ask questions and then others will answer to them and include their viewpoint. I posted the following question: how can we improve our education system for upcoming generations? And to my surprise, I got 3 responses. One of the responses was a link to another Quora post, so it wasn't as applicable to this presentation. This response is one of the 2 that I got. Fortunately, the bureaucratic education system of the past is being systematically destroyed, and charter schools and homeschooling are taking its place. This will save the American people a lot of money. The school systems of the past have gone totally socialist in nature, and it is time for our children to learn where America came from and what America stands for. All of these socialist teachers need to go and learn about America again. Apparently, they have forgotten the face of their fathers. The Democratic Socialist Party needs to be reformed and brought back from the cliff of socialism and communism. This is the second response that I got. A good question indeed. Our traditional education system was dependent on the term result/outcome. Remove it. The fear has been induced in our minds regarding the same and have been concretely related with future jobs and competition. One cannot study if he/she has to compete. One can only study if he/she is curious enough to know about it. The roots of the established society, politics, and government and whatnot have to be healthy first. Then only we can think of a better and efficient system. The mindset has to be improved first, and the old norms, propagandas that are being followed in the name of rights and wrongs have to be stopped. You cannot improve the mindset you cannot improve the mindset of society on a whole, but yourself. It starts with you. Have a great day. So this question, as you can see, was more of an action-based and required the responders to respond in a certain way, implying that the education system needed a change. I chose to phrase this question in such a way because assuming that it got responses, these responses would have been full of good quality answers and not random yes or no answers. This would end up being the biggest difference between my Quora responses and my Reddit responses. This is in my Reddit post, I commented, in your opinion, do you believe that there is an issue with our current education system? If yes, what do you propose as a way to fix our current system? If no, why do you think it is still working well? For this post, I ended up getting 8 responses, which was very nice because this was a two-part question. So people could have either said yes or they could have said no to the education system needing a change. But I found that throughout these 8 responses, most people were saying yes, as you can read. And since Reddit is a very opinionated forum, I knew that I would not leave empty-handed in regards to these responses if I allowed for both sides of the story to be told. Although I got a lot of responses, it was definitely more quantity over quality for these responses. And as you can see in this post right here, I failed to mention which education system that I was wanting to be changed, which is another reason that digital communications can get a little bit tricky. As I mentioned, I had a two-part dynamic question for both the negative and positive sides, and this is a very opinionated forum. So, the art of communication. While throughout these forum posts, I realized how easy it is to misinterpret online digital communications. In my Reddit post, as I mentioned, that I failed to say whether or not I was talking about the American education system, and that caused for some confusion in my responses. This is a mistake that could have been avoided if I had been talking in face-to-face where misinterpretations are not as common. I also didn't think that the timeline for my YouTube video was as important as it showed to be. I posted the response and didn't bother to check to see if anybody would be commenting back. I also found that a lot of times people take their voice for granted on digital communication. They are either not responding when they have something really valuable to say, or they're ruining their opportunity because they don't know how to effectively digitally communicate. Although there are a lot more user errors when it comes to digital communication, I wholeheartedly believe that it can become one of the most beneficial, influential, and inclusive environments our world has ever seen. Think about this. Someone in California can post to a Reddit forum that a Japanese person has posted expressing their own feelings and beliefs about the topic. Digital communication creates a whole new world of communication where done correctly can completely transform the way that we see things. I think that digital communication is still so new that there are a lot of user errors. For example, not knowing which platform to post information to or confusion in phrasing. But the more people engage in these online platforms and participate in digital communication, the less these errors come into play. It is the old saying, practice makes perfect, and now all we have to do is practice communication in a digital environment in order to perfect it and make it one of the most unique and precious aspects to our modern era of inclusivity. Thank you very much.